Tecno has just dropped their very first entry-level smartphone of 2026, the Tecno Pop 20, which is the successor to the Pop 10 that took the budget market by storm last year. But is it really an upgrade? Well, in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, from the design to the cameras, so you can decide whether it's actually worth buying right now in 2026 or whether you should just ignore it. Let's kick things off with the design and build quality. One thing I've noticed lately as a recurring trend with budget phones is this rectangular camera module sitting at the back. A lot of brands are now implementing it, some clearly understanding how to execute it well, others not so much. And for the Pop 20, I'd say that even though it tries to look premium, it's nowhere near as refined as the predecessor, Pop 10. Like seriously, they should have copied the S25 Ultra or something. As for the build quality, it's still a plastic finish, which is expected at this price point. But just like its predecessor, it feels sturdy in the hand, slim and lightweight. It comes with an IP64 rating, which is good, though that protection is not as impressive as the new 1.2 meter drop resistance they're teasing.
That's pretty good.
So even though design isn't my absolute favorite, it still offers decent enough protection in case of accidental drops. And if you're enjoying this video, kindly leave a like so more people can see it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this one. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about the external features. What exactly are we getting? On the top of the phone, we are getting the main speaker, which they put at the top instead of the bottom for some weird reason. The left side houses the SIM card slot, which will take 2 SIM cards and a memory card for storage expansion. Expanded storage, yay! On the right side, you get the volume rockers and the power button, which doubles as a fingerprint scanner. It's not the fastest I've seen, but it gets the job done reliably. And at the bottom of the Pop 20, you'll find the headphone jack, thank God it's still here, alongside the microphone and USB Type-C port. There might not be any significant changes which Tecno made, that's if you leave aside the fact that they put speakers differently this time. But the honest truth is that it doesn't affect sound quality at all. I don't think many people will complain about it. Moving on to the display, how good is it? The Tecno Pop 20 features a 6.74-inch 720p IPS panel with a 120Hz refresh rate. On paper, that's pretty much what you expect from a sub $100 phone. But in one key area, Tecno kind of messed up. They brought back the teardrop notch. Why? Seriously, who told them this was better than the hole punch cutout that almost everyone is using now? Isn't this what they had been trying to avoid for a long time? I don't want to roast it too hard because honestly for the price, it's still perfectly usable for content consumption. The IPS panel delivers decent colors. The 720p resolution remains sharp enough for everyday use. The 120Hz refresh rate keeps things smooth, and the screen gets reasonably bright even when you're outdoors on a sunny day. So even though this feels like a downgrade from the Pop 10, the areas that truly matter are still just as good. Now let's talk performance and see what we are getting. Powering the Tecno Pop 20 is the new T7250, an entry-level chipset that runs most phones in this price range. One thing you should clearly understand, especially if you are not very familiar with smartphones, is that this is the same processor used in the Pop 10. So if you are expecting better performance by upgrading, well, no. That said, it's still a capable chip for handling basic day-to-day tasks. Opening apps, light multitasking, and even some casual gaming won't be a struggle as long as you are keeping your expectations realistic. In terms of storage, the phone comes with up to 128 GB of internal storage and 4 GB of RAM, which can be expanded virtually to 8 GB using memory fusion. And if you really want to use the phone without much lagging, I'd actually recommend enabling this because it helps it feel smoother and manage tasks a bit more efficient. Now, since the performance is decent, what about the software? The Pop 20 runs iOS based on Android 15, and before I go deeper, I have to point something out. Last year's Pop 10 already ran iOS on Android 15, so why are we still seeing the same Android version again, especially when Android 17 is going to come out this year, and the fact that its direct competitor, the Infinix Smart 20, is rumored to ship in with Android 16. It's not necessarily terrible considering this is still what you expect from a some $100 device. After all, it doesn't have much improvements, but in terms of the actual usage, you're still getting the basics, from extreme customization down to those buttery smooth animations. In addition to that, there's a slight improvement, Feeling 2.0. It's an upgraded version of last year's feature, still allowing data-free calls but now extending up to an impressive 1.5 km range, which is definitely more than just staying inside the same building. So while there's no Android 16 here, I'm really happy that there's at least some sort of meaningful upgrade. Since that's about that, let's talk about the battery experience. The Pop 20 packs the standard 5000 mAh capacity, which should comfortably last the average user an entire day, whether you're scrolling social media, gaming casually, or texting that girl late at night.
What's that, brother?
Charging is handled by 15 watts of power, which is, I guess, acceptable at this price. It takes a little above 2 hours to fully charge, so it's not blazing fast, but it's not a deal breaker either. And that leads to the final category, the cameras. The phone features a 30MP main camera with an 8MP selfie camera. And if you are wondering what this is, Well, it's plastic. In most situations, the photos come out fairly decent. Colors are consistent, though you'll notice a drop in dynamic range most of the time. It's not amazing, but what do you expect for about $75? The video is capped at 1080p, and though it isn't flagship quality or anywhere near that, it's still acceptable considering how much you are paying. That doesn't mean the cameras are terrible, they're just average for the price. So is the Tecno Pop 20 a worthy upgrade from last year, or is it even worth buying at all? Here's the honest truth, this isn't a bad phone, especially for its price, because it handles the essentials without becoming frustrating. But if you are coming from the Pop 10, let me be frank with you, upgrading doesn't really make sense. It generally annoys me every single time I remember they downgraded to a tear-up notch. Like, who asked for that? The bottom line is this, why it's still recommendable in many cases. It doesn't change the fact that it's a pretty safe and honestly boring phone. If you want to avoid making expensive mistakes like this, you need to know the best smartphones to buy at any price in 2026. Click the card on the screen right now to check it out, and I'll tell you all about it.